Dear listeners, welcome again to my channel. This is Dr. Sawoni. I'd like to thank you for the support that you are apportioning to my channel. I would like to talk about the spirit of rejection. And we all know that rejection is a spirit that is a main cause of most of the things that we see, most of the atrocities that we see, the anger that we see out there, and most of the crime that you see out there is attributed to the spirit of rejection. And the spirit of rejection it can be traced back from the time of conception. I want to lay a foundation for people to understand that it is very important how parents react when a child has been conceived. And you must know that as soon as the sperm meets the egg, when after copulation, when a man and a woman come together to have intercourse, immediately, if the woman was ready to conceive, in other words, if the egg was in the right place for conception, immediately the sperm meets the egg, they form a zygote. And the zygote, when the zygote has been formed, during that time, the human spirit is present. The human spirit is present. Now, immediately that formation takes place, that organism that begins to develop in the womb of a woman is a human being. Now, immediately there is, when the human spirit is present, what happens is that human spirit begins to pick up any form of negativity or positivity, any form of emotional reaction that comes from either the mother or from the father. Now, here is a situation where a woman realizes that she's pregnant, maybe after 1 week, after 7 days, and she comes and or after 14 days, and she comes to the man whom she had intercourse with, whether that man is a husband or a boyfriend, and she breaks the news and says, I think I am pregnant. The reaction of that man will determine the message that will be recorded in the subconscious of that little zygote that has been formed in the womb of a woman. Remember, that zygote has not become a fetus yet, because a zygote develops into a fetus, then a fetus develops into a baby, and then a baby develops into a child. Now, I would like you to understand that at that moment, when the woman breaks the news to the man that she is pregnant, the reaction of the man will send the message to the baby, to that zygote in the womb. And you have to understand that if the reaction of the man is negative, then the message of rejection will be sent straight to the zygote, because that is the zygote will pick up rejection from day one. If the man says, oh no, why didn't you tell me why didn't you tell me to use protection? I'm not ready for a child. That reaction alone sends the message of rejection to the zygote. Now, the zygote, it goes to the subconscious. When the zygote is developing, the first level of rejection was a negative reaction of the father. Now, if the mother or the woman who is carrying that zygote gives a negative reaction by saying, oh no, I don't want this child. I don't want this baby. I'm not ready. And there's that negative vibe from the mother. That zygote picks up that negative vibe, that negative energy, and it becomes a first level of rejection. The zygote, it goes in the subconscious of the zygote. By the time the zygote is turning into a fetus, and more and more of that negative vibe and negative messages are being sent to that zygote until it develops into a fetus, it becomes even worse. Now, as maybe the man and the woman get together and they say, okay, fine, let's not abort. And okay, this fetus grows up with the first level of rejection and therefore feels unwanted. And then there's a form of anger that develops in the subconscious of that fetus as it's developing. Now, when the fetus develops into a child and more of negative vibes are picked up, more and more information that comes from the mother that is negative, of saying, no, I was not prepared. Oh, I don't have any money. I don't have clothes. I don't know what I'll do with this child. It came at the time I didn't expect. I was not expecting this, but what can I do? It's too late now. All that negative information, it's fed into the subconscious of that baby or that fetus that is in the womb as is developing into a baby. It's even worse when now the pregnancy has developed enough from 6 months. It is even worse when negative information is being fed. They pick up quarrels, they pick up conflict, they pick up moods, they pick up the behavior of parents will determine the outcome of the child. Now, if you walk into a maternity ward, you will pick up that some children are born when you get the difference. When children come out of their mother's womb, you'll pick up the difference in their reaction. There are some who are born and they are so peaceful and they're all just sweet and nice and they're handsome or they're beautiful. There are some who are born with painful screaming and crying that is so bitter. You can pick up how this child has been developing in the womb of a mother by the way they react when they come out of the womb. There are those who are so peaceful and sweet and cuddly, and there are those who are just so moody, who are crying all the time, and they scream with such bitterness and anger. It's a clear indication of what has been fed in the subconscious of this little baby as they've been developing along the way in the period of 9 months. Now, parents have to be very careful how they react when a baby has been conceived. A baby conceived out of a beautiful environment, like for instance, when the father hears the news that the mother is pregnant, he becomes excited, and the mother also becomes excited, and they all begin to nurture what is in the womb with such love and care. Such babies born under such circumstances are always beautiful or handsome. They are always peaceful. They are not full of issues. Now, these children who are born under rejection, as a result of rejection, they have been developing under difficult circumstances. Anger and bitterness gets bottled up in the subconscious. Now, this anger and bitterness begins to emerge as they grow. Now, there are these children who grow up in such environments and they end up being criminals because they don't know the language of love, they don't know care, they don't know appreciation. They were rejected from day one when they were conceived, and rejection continued And then as they developed, they were born under this hostile environment. That's why it's very important as parents to know exactly what we do in the presence of children. For example, parents must never quarrel in the presence of children, must never fight in the presence of children, must never use swear language in the presence of children, must not use a rude language in the presence of children. The behavior of parents will determine the outcome of the kind of children you are bringing up. Now, let us look at another factor whereby parents are careless with their habits. There are some parents who are loose morally. There are some parents who are who've got habits like smoking and drinking. Such habits need to be controlled, not to be kept in the present, not to be shown to the children openly. If you happen to take alcohol, if you don't want to bring up children who will be more alcoholic and who will be even worse than yourself, then you better keep alcohol away from children. You better not drink in their presence. You better not smoke in their presence, because children are hero worshippers. Children are hero worshippers, and parents are their first level of heroes. Then teachers follow at their second level of heroes. So the behavior of teachers will determine the kind of children they are bringing up, the kind of children they are nurturing in school. And seeing that children spend more time with teachers, then they learn more. If teachers have got terrible and abhorrible habits, children will develop the same way. They will have the same kind of character. So you cannot tell children to do things that yourselves are not able to do or control in your lives. Now, statistics show that many young people that have found themselves showing brutality towards others, that have found themselves showing anger towards others, that have found themselves in jail, that have found themselves committing horrendous crimes, is because of the environment under which they have been brought up. Recently, there was a documentary at the Cape Flats in the Western Cape of a young man who was the most hardened criminal who will rape and murder with such a brazen attitude, who had no feeling of anything. You know why? Because his own father is a convicted criminal who is already in jail, that belongs to one of the highest gangs in jail. In South Africa, they call it gangs, I think 26 or something like that. Those that belong to such, they are always, they delight in seeing blood. Now, the son, growing up under such a father, nice looking young fellow, but yet he is stone cold. Crime is part of his life. There's nothing else he knows other than his father, who is a hardened criminal. Now, tell me, the language that people use in families will determine the kind of product that they produce in the form of a child or in the form of children. So I want to encourage you that the spirit of rejection does not just occur. I know of a family where the daughter was gang raped, and she kept that one as a secret. She never even revealed to her mother, she never revealed to her father, because the parents used to tell her not to go out and join bad company, but she ignored and went out and joined bad company. She was gang raped, and she was treated like trash. Then she ended up losing self-confidence, and she ended up not appreciating herself. Now, the spirit of rejection that comes as a result of many other spirits that come from other people, because remember, people who do gang rape and who do such horrendous things, they have also their own backgrounds of bitterness and anger they have bottled up, which they have not let go of their past. So this one area that we have to continue in our next topic, and we'll be talking about how to let go of the past and how the past can influence your present and your future and make you live in a state of stagnation. Now, I would like you to understand that this girl, after she was raped, gang raped, and treated like trash, She was so beautiful in the beginning, but she ended up losing self-confidence. She ate and ballooned up. Now, wherever she goes, she suffers from rejection. Not even one person wants to see her. Even if you're meeting her for the first time, you never just want to see her again. And it's been carrying on like that. But then when we trace back, we find that when we try to trace back, we found that the father is a contributor factor to this. The father does not plant good and positive seeds in the lives of his own children. Now, he does not have a loving heart, he does not have a caring heart. Two, every time each child has been conceived, the father has been mumbling and grumbling and complaining. And that has caused all the children that come out of this man not looking handsome. Even boys, they look like they woke up and saw a ghost. And they're all bitter and they all hate the same father and all that. So the family is divided. The father cannot control the children. They've got absolute hatred and anger towards his father. Now, and many other factors. So I just want to encourage you that the spirit of rejection is an evil spirit that is ruining families, and it can be the cause of most of these horrendous crimes that we see. When someone does not find acceptance in the society, they tend to be hostile towards such a society. If one does not has developed knowing that he or she is not appreciated, and the cause of some of these girls or women who find themselves on the street, and some of them, I did not say all of them, that find themselves on the street, not even appreciating their femalehood, not appreciating and not being able to appreciate who they are as girls or as women. They are able to give themselves as sex workers. They don't care about themselves. They don't appreciate. They have no self-pride, no self-consideration. When you trace into their lives, you find that there's a level of rejection that they suffered from childhood. There's a level of rejection they suffered from the time of conception. There's a level of rejection they faced in their lives as they were growing up. So be careful and remember to subscribe if you like to hear and more about these issues. Please subscribe to my channel and God will bless you. And watch and pray. Watch and pray. God bless you. Thank you.